Hi, I'm here to read another little portion out of my book, The End is Nigh Again, but this time we really mean it. This is a book about Jehovah's Witnesses and about my 21 long and boring and hideous years as a Jehovah's Witness. The chapter I'm going to read from is a chapter that deals with the blood issue. Now, as most people know, Jehovah's Witnesses are famed for refusing blood, all kinds of blood, but certainly blood transfusions, even to the point where they die and where they allow their children to die as well. And it's all based on one scripture somewhere in the Old Testament that has nothing to do with blood transfusions. So, I'd like to read a little bit about the paranoia that used to be around about where blood might be and what food might contain blood. Even the most innocent things like ice cream. The ice cream van came once a week to our area and was extremely popular with the children. The owner made his ice cream from a jealously guarded secret recipe that had come all the way from Italy. Its flavour was second to none, and quite often Dad would allow us to buy a 99 from the little slide-along window in his van. Like all good ice cream men, he had a range of different coloured, squeezable bottles that contained various sticky and sweet sauces that he would liberally squirt over the top of the ice cream. The main flavours were chocolate, lemon, toffee and strawberry. My favourite was strawberry, thick and of the deepest red colour you could imagine. For fun, the ice cream man had given each of the sauces an unusual name that rather belied their pleasant taste and struck fear into the heart of any child hearing them for the first time. The chocolate sauce was called zombie saliva, and for that very reason, I never once tried it. The lemon sauce, or monkey sick, as it was called, wasn't very popular either, as it tended to curdle the ice cream. The toffee sauce had been named Dog's Dew, and the red sauce, which was my favourite, was called Monkey's Blood. Whenever the van arrived, Angus and I would be given the job of running to get the ice creams for the whole family. We were great 99ers and liked nothing better than to have a nice chocolate flake stuck smack bang in the centre of a dollop of ice cream, all perched on a cornet. Our choices of sauces, however, was a different matter, and each of us had our own strict preferences. One day, whilst Dad was in the street, tampering with his car, the ice cream van rolled up, belting out its weird doorbell version of the theme from Monty Python's Flying Circus. Angus happened to be at his friend's house that day, and so in his absence, Dad assumed the responsibility of helping me to order them. "What can I do for you, fella?" the man asked cheerfully from the window of his old Bedford van. "I'll have 4 99s, Dad ordered, a twinkle flashing in his eye at the thought of a nice sweet break from his car mechanics. "Can you put toffee sauce on one of them, chocolate on 2 of them, and strawberry on the other one?" Dad specified, ordering our usual selection, less that of Angus, who was sure to be disappointed at having missed out on his weekly treat. Not to be fobbed off by this boring adult talk, and aware that I was listening too, the ice cream man repeated Dad's order back to him, replacing the names of the sauces with his other, more inventive titles. "So here you go then, sir. 1 with Dog's Dew on it, 2 with zombie saliva." As he handed each of the cornets over, I could see the expression on Dad's face flicker between amusement and disgust as he watched the sticky sauces dripping their way down toward his hands. I realised that he'd never actually bought from the van before, and so this was the first time that he'd heard their names. I wasn't sure he was very impressed. As the last cone was handed over, the man in the van said, "And here's the last one, fella, with lots of monkey's blood on it." There then occurred one of those special effect moments that we see in nearly every scary movie these days. They always happen at the precise moment in which someone realises something dreadful. In a flash, the camera zooms in on the shocked face, whilst at the same time the background shoots away into the distance at breakneck speed. The effect on the viewer is to give them the impression that the person is rushing toward the screen without actually moving. And so this is the self-same thing that happened to Dad as he tentatively reached out his hand for the ice cream covered in monkey's blood. I don't want that one, he stammered, suddenly looking quite pale around the gills. Can I change it for one with dog's do on, please? There was a pause whilst the ice cream man processed what Dad was saying. From his face I could see he wasn't happy. But that's what you ordered, he said, sounding disgruntled. I know, but I made a mistake. I don't want that one now. Look, I'll pay for another one, Dad explained, looking at his hands being slowly covered in dog's dew and zombie saliva. With a heavy sigh, the ice cream man threw the unwanted cone into the bin at his side and began to make another one. To my dismay, his annoyance appeared to be directly reflected in the size of the cone that he was preparing. It was tiny. There you go, he said to Dad between gritted teeth, handing over a piffingly small cornet, which just so happened to be mine. Typical, isn't it? Dad said to me once we were out of earshot of the van. No matter where you go, they're always trying to give you something with blood in it. I don't think it really has blood in it, Dad, I said, aware that my comment could have quite easily been construed as insolent. You can never trust anyone, Douglas, he replied curtly. And from now on, no more of that red sauce, he said, bringing the conversation to a close as so often he did, with no possibility of negotiation. Although I said nothing, on the inside I couldn't help but feel a terrible frustration. I've been having monkey's blood on my ice cream for ages, and if I was to be the judge of anything, it tasted absolutely nothing like blood. I couldn't sense any traces of blood in it, and what was more, after having eaten it, I felt absolutely no change to my spiritual health. No, he was wrong on this one. Of that I was certain. And so, as I walked away from the ice cream van that day with my smaller than usual cornet, I felt disappointed and angry that once again my life's options were being taken from me by my ridiculously unyielding religion. I experienced that familiar stifling sensation that always accompanied each new rule issued by the society via my father. As I thought logically about Dad's rationale, I wondered if there really was a chance that that innocuous red substance might possibly contain blood. It just didn't make sense to me. Why would they go to all the bother of adding blood to the sauce? Surely it would have been easier just to add raspberry instead. Where did you get hold of blood anyway? If my monkey's blood really did contain monkey's blood, where'd the monkey come from? I knew here that in the UK they were a little thin on the ground, and that it would have been quite an event to see a monkey swing past your window. Did the ice cream man import them, or perhaps smuggle them into the country in a suitcase? The whole idea seemed highly unlikely, and so pushing it from my mind, I followed Dad up the stairs, whilst I formulated my plan to ask for a drop of the red when he wasn't around. Thank you. There'll be more snippets from the book, and if you're interested in reading the book, or maybe even just reading the initial few pages, then go to the link on lulu.com. See you. Thank you very much.